guys. Oh, I do know something.
It's over there.
Oh, the whoop's in here now?
Eventually, there's no one flying just yet.
Like, can anybody just...
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the stream here today at the Buffalo Bando race. We are now back up and running. We've done 3 out of 14 heats already. We kind of got going a little bit while the live streaming was down. We just wanted to make sure that we were staying on schedule for the day. And now we're heading into race number 4, which is that first round of elimination. So
that's right, Nurk. You're doing a great job. Thanks for being the peanut butter to my jelly.
I was hoping to be the wait, oh shoot. I had a good one for this.
What a terrible segue.
What's the thing that hummus is made out of?
I don't know. Vegetables of some sort.
Vegetable, yeah. I wanted to be that to your hummus, but that would have sounded really funny and gross. But
let's go outside. This is heat number 4 that we're rolling into.
We've got our top qualifier from the bottom 16, Mr. Slowpoke on the bottom right corner in the 4th position currently. And then we've got 8th, 9th, and 13th.
Well, it's not entirely accurate. That was me catching up, but I like your style, so I set you up for failure, but let me pick you up.
Appreciate it,
You do
Joe.
have 1st and 16th in this heat. Punk Kills was the highest. He was 17th overall, 1 spot away from the pro. My mistake.
Gotcha.
And Slowpoke just made the cut in the number 32 spot. So
we're hoping for big things out of Slowpoke, but we can expect punk kills to take it home here as the most consistent pilot from the other track earlier.
Hey, are you guys launching them or are we? I don't know if we have audio out there.
Do they hear us out there?
Video stream, we're talking, we're live streaming.
I am super excited to see what Punk Kills done. I was chatting to him right as and here we go.
Here we go. Underway.
Oh, no.
So this is our first look at the Bando course outside.
Yeet out with a solid lead, but he just got passed by Otter as he missed the dive gate and had to turn around. But now we have everybody within a half turn of each other. The Punk. Ooh. Now we have Otter out in the front position, very close with bottom right, who is Slowpoke. Just going through the first lap. Punk Kills is kind of going back and forth on his speed. He ends up front and then he kind of slows down a little bit, but he's finding his consistency, finding his groove.
Yeah, Otter killing it right now. Stale Beer thought was coming in. Now we're seeing some issues with him. So now it's Otter leading Punk Kills by a good chunk. I want to say about 12 seconds.
Punk Kills and Slowpoke are right on top of each other with Otter out front, holding on to that lead.
There goes Slowpoke.
Otter heading up and down through the dive gate. Great approach to that. That was actually pretty quick. A lot of people have been doing power loops. Some people are kind of making 2 turns out of it. Otter just kind of making a quick deal out of those 2 turns, but still holding off Punk Kills for this 3rd lap here in finals. Oh, we have a near midair between Punk Kills and Otter, but Otter came out on top and is now onto the lead lap. Is that
final
the right
lap? They're running 3 in intermediate, and that's it. Otter is going to get his 3 in, and Punk Kills right behind him. Let's call it by about looks like 2.2 seconds.
Yeah.
And Slowpoke going to pull up 3rd.
Looks like Otter might not know that we're only doing 3 laps, but that's okay. He can celebrate his first win here in race number 4. He's sending on to the next round, the winner's bracket of the intermediate class here at
Winners
Buffalo
go
Bando.
up to 8, losers go to 7, I think. So it's Otters, Punk Kills, Slowpoke, and Stale Beer.
Slowpoke put in good effort for that. Having that bottom spot, I mean, he was right there with Punk Kills up until the end. So there's nothing to be sad about. That was a good effort, and hopefully we'll see him at the next race here with Multi GP.
Yeah, buddy.
not sure what's going on, sometimes it can be a little bit frustrating. You know, you definitely want to go for that rerun if you can, because you want to know what the consequences of all your actions are out there on the track.
That's it. You know, strategy is what you need to do, and ensure that you stay alive. Because here, when it's a winner's bracket, loser's bracket situation, just get your laps in. You don't need to be the winner until it comes to that final race.
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of make a habit of shooting for second place, because as soon as I decide I got to win now, that's when I start making mistakes. So I always kind of, you know, I shoot to fly my own race, to do the best that I know I'm capable of.
Well, and, you know, we talk about DRL. It's how our buddy Jet won Drone Racing League 2017 back-to-back World Championships, flying second and making that pass in the clinch on that last turn in Britain.
I would still say that that's probably one of the greatest moments in drone racing. I was there live in front of like 1,500 people, 1,500 audience, and like Jet makes that last move to take the win for the entire series. Like, it all came down to that one moment. And I'm getting goosebumps right now just thinking about it.
It was great.
What it was like to be there. I didn't have a voice the next day. I was screaming so much.
And I'm a Gab 707 fan. Obviously, he hangs his hat now and his goggles up in Canada with us by way of Switzerland. And yeah, it was just an exciting moment. Great pilots there. And here's we pick up where we left off in heat number 1. These are qualifiers 3, 6, 11, 14, middle of the field. And one of these pilots, I don't know which one, had some traffic coming in on the earpiece. One of them lost a quad in the river. Behind us, yep. So we're one of these pilots with a backup quad, 4 with a chance to move on to winners bracket.
As you see them going through those silos out towards the kind of away from where the starting block is, like that is heading straight at a river. But we've got all three. Oh, never mind. Just as I was about to say, we've got all 4 pilots in the air. Fat Kid crashes into a gate and does not look like he's going for the turtle mode. Maybe he's running race flight and takes a few seconds to get that Koopa mode all rolling.
Toggle switch, toggle switch.
Oh, something's going on.
Carbon Fury with a screen of death in that bottom right.
He's been cutting in and out. Hopefully he's not down, but it's not looking good right now.
In power testing, he was like not even tripping our timer, so he had some video issues. Here outside, video's pretty crystal clear.
Air Badger and Sidewinder are currently the only 2 that are left in the air, so they have a massive lead. Doesn't look like Fat Kid's going for that turtle mode anymore and is kind of sticking on the ground, so it looks really good for them right now, but you know, definitely always finish that race, finish it strong, fly your own race, get through. So we're finishing up the third. Oh my gosh, we have somebody. Sidewinder's down on top of the silo. He's sidewinded right down. Look at that. You can see, I'm guessing those are like metal rebar spikes right there.
Oh, wow.
And we have to get that down from up there.
We may be changing a channel on the Duo and the timing system.
There's a ladder.
There is a ladder.
As long as we can figure out where it went. Can we look at a DVR review, see where that ended up?
Unfortunately, I wasn't set up for that. I didn't hit the record button.
That was never an option, and I don't know why I suggested that.
Joe was always prepared. It should have been. I've programmed this system that I can go back.
He was too busy drinking, what's the beer called, Blue something, and eating poutine. Because we're here right next to Canada.
Yeah, that was it. Here at the Riverworks, this is really where it's at. And, yeah, it was funny. Yesterday, my best friend, Chris Thomas, and I were hanging out here, and they were sending us Slack messages behind the scenes. They're like, probably not the best place for you guys to hang out 18 hours long for a drone race in a bar that's open almost 24/7.
You guys have been surprisingly sober.
Well, because we take this seriously, Nurk. Almost as seriously as you.
Yeah, probably. I was enjoying some beers last night. It was great. Some local stuff. Like I'm a gluten-free, not by choice, the little celiac disease, and so I was enjoying a local cider, and it was really good. Right as this guy walks in front of the camera, I guess it's not really clear that camera is there and we're here, but that's gonna add to the enjoyment of what's going on. So yeah, we're currently tracking down Sidewinder FPV's quad, which is broadcasting on top of the silos as part of this Bando race. But so we're going to move over to some tiny whoop action here inside the Buffalo Riverworks bar. Somebody came up, a civilian, I think, right? Not a guy that was racing with us, and asked if he could fly the tiny whoop track because he saw that it was here. Had his tiny whoop and just whipped it out. You can even see that he flies this outside. He's got grass all over those ducts. That's great. It's a pretty hard course. I was flying it earlier on someone's brushless tiny whoop, which made it really hopefully easier to complete. But those little hoops are only like 6, 7, 8. He gets stuck and he's down. He's on the ground. Oh, did he turtle mode or was that somebody flipping him? Oh, somebody flipped him. JT FPV, one of our top 16 pilots for today, flipped him over, and now he's headed back down. Oh my gosh, he's shooting right at us. He almost made it to the announcing booth. He's back up in the air. My favorite part about this is on one hand we've got up to hit pilot's left right now. There's a giant industrial fan. You can see him fly around the fan at the same pace as the fan. The rest of the room moves. The fan stays still. And then there's a giant jumbotron that you'll see as he starts the lap right at the beginning of the course that you can fly up to, and it makes the really, that crazy just picture and picture and picture and picture and picture and picture and picture all the way to infinity. That cracks me up too. So I was hoping that yesterday when we had the whole bridal party here that someone would figure out how to go power loop the bride.
Oh yeah,
I think that
they would have loved
pretty,
that.
Pretty entertaining. It's
but you know what?
Congratulations on your special day.
I don't know if you read the sash, but the bride squad or the bride tribe is here. That's
Can we get an interview with one of them?
We should. Yeah, this is happening.
I think that would be really good.
It'll happen.
We'll buy them a drink and interview them on the live stream here.
I put down the multi-GP Amex just at the bar in a cup. So yeah, just put it on the Chris Thomas tab.
Where's that?
It's at the bar.
I think I gotta go find that tab then.
We're still under retrieval, right?
So go ahead and enjoy a little bit more Tiny Whip action, and we'll be right back.
Wow, we got crashing inside, crashing outside. The one that's up on the silo, just saw it wiggle a little bit. Same time the Tiny Whip crashes out a little bit. And so we'll be picking up here momentarily with race number 5. It'll be King, Carbon Fury, Fender, and Fat Kid, I believe. Let's take a look at our...
Down a whole another aspect of life that I blatantly ignore.
We're still trying to retrieve that quad up on the silo outside. And while we have a second, let's give some love to those that make this event possible, of course. We start with our presenting partners, ReadyMadeRC, the leaders in all things FPV and beyond. And they've got some great videos. You watching their Friday live streams where they're doing the reviews of products?
I just caught my first one. Like they've got it like all blue and green screened out, and like it's quite enjoyable.
And if you watch those, usually it is Tan Starfield, which is Tim Stanfield. His pilot name is Tan Starfield. He is the owner and operator of ReadyMadeRC, and you see all the cast and crew. Mr. Noise on there.
Yep.
Sometimes you see June. Sometimes you see Alec. Sometimes you see MC Skies.
Yep.
And when you're on a ReadyMade live stream, you know what you need.
Strict glasses.
Yeah, you know.
Actually, these are legitimately like the favorite glasses, like sunglasses I've ever owned. I go to ReadyMadeRC and buy them like 6 at a time, so that I just have sunglasses. Like I'm not talking like for drone racing. Like I'm talking like driving,
for chilling.
Like going to the beach. Like I am always wearing a pair of Strict shades.
Well, we don't have that DRL budget, so consider yourself paid.
Okay. So Strix, please, can I get some more glasses for free? I would love to promote them. Just can we get some in green?
Yeah.
Instead of the orange.
They got some new funky ones. When I was watching when they did the review of
the Doc Browns.
Yeah, exactly. They're reviewing that the rapid fire. Pretty sweet stuff. But ReadyMadeRC, they're a presenting partner in this event. And also here, just outside of Riverworks, is the Academy of Model Aeronautics. Not the company, not the property, but just outside the trailer, the AMA is here. Did you check that out?
I check out the AMA all the time. I live in Indianapolis, right, 40 minutes from where the IO is hosted and the AMA is located. So I'm up there all the time, kind of hanging out and chatting. And they just installed a new FPV track on site, like that's permanent. It's a pretty big deal. I think it's a big step for an organization that has been based around much more traditional model avionics, but have continued to adopt FPV drone racing and been a part of what's going on. Bob Brown, President Emeritus of the AMA, is here participating in this race.
Yeah, very exciting. They got the trailer out there, so people are able to walk into the trailer just outside of Riverworks here and fly some RC craft, sim style. They have RC flights and some drone simulators there as well. And they're the presenting partner of the regional series this year, which is very fitting as this is a wild card race.
Yeah.
And are you looking for that golden ticket to go back?
I definitely am. I'm actually a little bit nervous about my personal schedule to attend all of the regional required races to make it to final. So I am definitely hopeful for completing getting my golden ticket here today at the Buffalo Bando.
Wild card spot up for grabs, and that is going to go to the winner of our pro double elimination bracket a little bit later on this evening. And on top of that, of course, the AMA hosted the International Open. That's where we're headed to in August, second week of August. It is FPV Paradise. It is a theme park for drones, 8 different flight lines. And this year, we're actually making it 9. We're splitting wing and tiny whoop. And we're going from 8 a.m. to midnight every single day. As a pro pilot, you loved that World Cup course last year, right?
It was really, really good. It was a bit of a challenge for me because I only got 12 hours to be at the IO, and
Dang.
I came in on an hour of sleep after traveling all night long. So I got there, I learned it as fast as I could, qualified, and then crashed because I was so tired.
We have your back this year. So not only do we have 1 World Cup course, we have 2 World Cup courses. So identical World Cup courses so that you can practice, you can qualify on 2 courses. And, of course, the highlight, the International Open, for many of us that really enjoy the racing scene, and IO is not just about racing, but that World Cup Championship, Saturday night, under the bright lights. We're running them bright lights Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night. So you can practice or even show up late and fly up until midnight on the World Cup course. Get your cameras dialed in.
Yeah,
and
that's a tip that I have. Like, for me, I did not have the ability to quickly change my camera settings on my run cams, and it really messed with my ability to compete because, like, all of a sudden I'd turn around the corner and boom, the sun is, which not the sun, the lights,
but
the
lights,
sun equivalent, are shooting into my lens, and I didn't change for it, and it messed me up. So, be prepared for daylight.
gridding up outside. Looks like King with some video issues, but
we should start combining names of the entire heat, like the King Fat Fender of Fury or something like that. Like,
what a cool name! That's my new pilot handle.
The King Fat Fender of Fury.
You gotta admit, that's pretty intimidating.
King Fat Fury.
Yeah. Ripping it up.
we could if you. Oh, we're not. We're there. Oh yeah. So you look at the bottom right corner, you can see
that's
Fat Kid desperately trying to get something running on his quad there. Looks a little bit angry, but it's good that we have sun up there now.
Exactly. Look how beautiful it is out there. So he is from east of us, right? He's over by the Massachusetts area, I believe.
I believe so.
We got King from the Cleveland area.
Yep.
Fender is a hometowner here in Buffalo. And Carbon Fury from just across the river.
Is that what his name is about? He's defending the home tight?
That could be it.
Hometown hero?
He's an OG, if you'd believe it or not.
What do you mean OG?
He's the original gangster. I've known Fender since 2015. He's been around. Hell yeah.
Gosh.
And Carbon Fury from just across the river in Niagara, Canada. He's part of the Niagara FPV squad, the first Tier 1 chapter in Canada. And here he is with these other 3 pilots in this consolation bracket, trying to stay alive. Top 2 move on, bottom 2 going home. West.
This is we're into the loser bracket,
East,
aren't we?
North.
Man,
That's it.
This is elimination for 2 of these guys here, so the pressure is on. They're feeling it. They're thinking about it. They're trying not to make a mistake, because if they make that mistake, it could be the end of their quad as well as their day.
Going green, look at that, 4 through the gate. Fat Kid succumbing to the pressure. It's going to be King going up high. No, Carbon Fury with the lead.
Oh my gosh, we have somebody go down. He's stuck in the net. Oh no.
No.
We're already down to 2, and we haven't even made it halfway through the first lap.
Leader changes out by that dive gate. How insane was that, Nurk?
Honestly, I think that Fender might not, like, if he doesn't, sorry, so King has made it through the dive gate and is stuck in the net over there. Fender has to make that dive to move further than King did. So without him having completed that, there he goes through. That's a big start. He needs to make that next gate, and he's definitely moving further than King. There we go. King and Carbon Fury from Niagara are going home, but Fender, the local hometown hero, is moving on as long as King or Carbon Fury don't come out of their little funk here. It looks like Fender's going a little bit the wrong way on the track, maybe. Now he's figured out that gate. And Fat Kid coming up to lap Fender here on his second lap. Fender's, oh my gosh, and we just had a midair?
What did he hit?
Each other. I think they had a midair.
Oh, wow.
I think Fender and Fat Kid hit each other. But because they were the longest ones in the air, they are the 2 that are moving on into our loser bracket here
so
at
you're
Buffalo
calling
Bando.
it Fender and Fat Kid right now,
calling
1 and
Fender
2.
And Fat Kid. Carbon Fury was the first one down. King got stuck after the dive gate. He kind of rolled along the dive gate. Fat Kid definitely was on his second lap, and I'm pretty sure that Fender was the only other person in the air and deserves that next opportunity to move up as the hometown hero.
I like your style. So let's, I believe I updated it. I'm getting some text messages from our producer back home, our good friend Hefty Puente. You know Hefty, Spanish bastard.
I do. He's hard to miss.
Yeah, he is helping us out. So I'm controlling the live stream on top of everything else, having a good time here. So he's giving me the tips. Thank you, Hefty.
Sounds like an excuse.
No, he's helping us out. Okay. So when we were showing the bracket earlier, we had no audio.
Interesting.
Yeah, so dude, this is live.
We missed our best jokes then. We
I know.
were so funny while that was up. Like,
you're killing
all
it.
of the entertainment value that we have here combined, you just completely missed out on. We are checking with our judges to figure out if he made it through the dive gate. He did go through the dive gate, which I think I saw too. But so yeah, definitely Fender's moving on. He's made through the dive gate a little bit further past King, and so King and Carbon Fury are going home. King going a lot further home than Carbon Fury. Distance-wise.
Fat Kid and, like you said, Fat Kid and Fender moving on. The word coming in officially. We actually double-checked with our judges, and I'm going to go to the overhead cam here. Living the dream. Right there.
It's hard to see, but like around in front of us, there's often people stopping by, staring at the monkey show that is Joe and I, and also at the giant screen behind us in this beautiful bar. It's a great venue for drone racing. I'm really excited about it. I am pumped. Mr. Captain, top qualifier Vanover here is incepting on us. That sounded really inappropriate, but he is, and he's watching the stream while watching the stream. And you were taking a nap? I am jealous.
It was a great nap. I was
Did you
just
stay up late napping? Or did you have to fix some quads or something?
I didn't have to fix any quads, but we raced really late yesterday. So by the time we were done, and by the time I was back to the Airbnb, it was like midnight.
Yeah.
So I slept in as much as I could, and then yeah, came up here just now.
I was a little bit annoyed to see that you had already gotten to the track this morning and were practicing on it before I even thought about waking up. So.
Yeah.
I think that shows your dedication to the sport. I mean, you're working hard, you're pushing hard, and I'm excited to see what you do on this track.
I appreciate it. It's all fun, though. I mean, I go out here, and this track is just insanely fun. any of the pilots watching, you're missing out. But
it being about fun doesn't mean you can't be dedicated to fun. Like, you put in the work.
True.
You know.
Well, I put in a lot of work into this. You know,
Yeah.
it's something I kind of do as a profession at the moment, and I just want to be good at it. And I know I have the ability to do so. So,
what's the next step for you? What are you working on the hardest right now? What if you could improve about yourself right now is the biggest next step for you in your FPV career?
You know, honestly, approaching the community more. And I know, I mean, I could probably give critiques to myself about what I can improve drone racing-wise, but honestly, the community has been so nice to me and so supportive of me. I mean, there's so many individuals I would love to name, and I feel like it's time for me to start giving back. A lot of people ask me racing tips all the time, and while I'm just one racer who may not know everything perfectly, I feel like it's really important to help other people out who may not have all the help that they need, and maybe just need a little bit of a confidence booster.
Do you mind if I ask, like, what some of your next steps are for that? Like, what's your plan?
So, yeah, I'm going to start doing more race tutorial videos. I did one as an experiment as, like, a Jacob's ladder, but now I intend to do more of those. I'm also going to be doing something upcoming soon on Facebook where people can actually submit DVR, and I'm going to do a big live stream where I literally just analyze the DVR, and then that'll be posted afterwards as well. And I'm just going to – people can send me their DVR, and I'll give just my thoughts on it and what I think they can improve on. You know, not trying to critique people in a bad way, but just people who would like to get feedback.
Yeah.
I can get feedback to.
Yeah, being self-aware, knowing, you know, what your capabilities are as a racer are a big step. But then having, you know, someone as good as Vanover, you know, the national champion, and soon to potentially be the Buffalo Bando 2018 champion, is, you know, having him check your work and help you understand where you can live up to his glory.
I don't know. I appreciate it, but I don't know. It's just it's really important for me to kind of give back a little bit. As far as like this race and everything's concerned, like I said, I am just having a lot of fun. Everyone there is so nice. We have a pretty cool place to hang out and fly. So regardless of how I do on the big track, I've done some hot laps and everything. I know what I can do out there, so we'll just see what happens.
Cool. Well, thanks for stopping by. We're about to run into our next heat here.
Anytime.
And good luck out there. He's going to go keep watching from the couch. Where's the couch?
That's it. There's couches all around.
I shouldn't have volunteered for this. I could be taking a nap.
Let's pick things up here in our winners bracket. Sidewinder, Air Badger, JTB, Jeff PV. Air Badger is a guy qualified, I think, about 10th overall. Glad to see him still here in our winners bracket. He's going to get the whole shot through Stonehenge and up to that dive gate. Smooth work for him. You got JTB in the number 2 spot, I believe. Sidewinder, second, third. There's a big pass. JTB making a pass ahead of Sidewinder. Split S. Sidewinder just ahead of JTB. Great battle for the 2-3. And it's all Air Badger right now, about to complete a lap, Mr. Nurk.
Air Badger's got so much space up front now, but Sidewinder and Jay are still battling it back and forth for that second position. It looks like Sidewinder's earned a little bit of space after a small mistake from JTV. Sidewinder almost smashing into the top of the silo on the way down, but now he's headed back up for that big split S to gate combo at the end of the track. At the same time, Jeff PV is closing in the gap a little bit on JTB, but Air Badger still holding on to that lead position with a commanding, dominating amount of space.
Look at that sunshine out there. I mean, it's looking good on all these Caddx cameras. And thank you, Caddx, for being one of our partners, Buffalo
Oh, my
Bando.
gosh. Air Badger is on his last lap. He made a big crash just on the end of the thing. He's passed now by Sidewinder. They closely finished 1-2.
Oh, no, it's
I'm
Air
not
Badger
sure.
just ahead of Sidewinder to the dive. This is the final lap for the top.
That could have been a costly mistake. Jay just finished his third lap and crashes into the net.
That
he's
was
not even flying anymore for positioning, but you know, now it looks like we have Air Badger just barely holding on to that lead in the last turn.
4/10 of a second.
He went down, got back up. There's water on the lens from a puddle, battling it out around the last corner to get in before he potentially loses that positioning that he earned for the whole race.
Flying through the pain as well.
Big drama at Buffalo Bando 2018.
Yeah, buddy. What a battle that was. And so that was a winner's bracket. So we're going to see all 4 of those pilots here in just a wee while as we await the internet to update us. There we go.
A wee while.
That was a wee while. That's me stalling.
With that phrasing.
The new president.
I'd love to see DVR on that last race if we can get it.
You know, next weekend is the second regional final. It is a Southeast Regional. You're going to have DVR reviews, brackets, interviews, live.
So that would include Florida, the hometown of.
It's going to be in
MultiGP,
Alabama.
wouldn't it be? Well, I mean,
hometown of
that
Leonard
region,
Skinner.
right?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, I've been
I was
prepping.
thinking Southeast. Let's get a Southeast. Why Alabama?
Really good group there. Tier 1 chapter, Rocket City RC. And it's central to the region, too. Florida is the east end of the region because that also includes a little bit of Louisiana, a whole bunch of Florida, a little bit to the north with Georgia. So Alabama right in the central hub. So we see Air Badger and Sidewinder go up in that winner's bracket. JTB and Jeff PV going on to the Consolation bracket. Now, again, I think the graphic may not be right. I think they're going to slide him into race number 9. Not entirely sure. This was the one thing that I haven't had time to fix, but it's all good.
I'm going to go over to the live stream and see if we got any chats
you
here.
You got the chat going on your phone? I like your style.
Nurk, get closer to the mic. I'm already, like, chewing on the mic.
Here, let me turn you up a little bit. Hold on.
Nurk has a future at being the color commentator guy. Oh, man. Does that mean I'm already getting retired?
No,
Is that what we're saying here? Like, it's like, let's put him out to pasture. He can go join Joe.
No, I bet you if you scrolled up, they're probably loving it. Problem is I didn't have audio on all the scenes, so.
Kalara says that it's much better now that I am, like, licking this mic that is now an ice cream cone.
I did turn it up, though, too.
Oh, Joe turned me up, too. Joe, you know how to turn it up.
I know how to help you out. This is race number 7. Consolation bracket. 2 survive, 2 are heading home. We got Stale Beer, not in the Riverworks, but out on our takeoff podium, top left.
That's how you say it.
Ah.
I've been looking at that handle. Like, I'm really bad at understanding handles. Like,
even worse.
People are like, I'll like reading it off one way, and they're just like, that's Stale Beer.
That's Stale Beer, bro.
Oh.
Mayhem,
Here we go. Launching.
Johnny Crash, and Slowpoke. Slowpoke is our lead designer or lead architect of the MultiGP
Stale
website.
Beer has popped his cap and
we
poured out his stale beer all over the pavement.
We poured one out for all our dead homies.
Ironically, Mayhem taking home the current lead lap while Stale Beer causes the most mayhem possible.
Now look at Slowpoke here in the bottom right. He is just ripping for it. He's running the number 2 spot. Stats haven't come up. His video, he's not reading strong enough to trip our timer. I've been noticing that all day long. Now, when I was in Baltimore, the Baltimore Drone Prix, I watched him with Billster. Stick with him right to the end. Pressure got the Slowpoke.
Billster was the surprise of
Megadrone
X to me. Yeah, he was all of a sudden he just shows up and is crushing it, and I was really, really impressed with him. So, but now we got a close 1-2 race. Hopefully, Mayhem and Slowpoke are aware that they're the only 2 in the air because they don't need to push too hard for this. They can just kind of bring it on home, enjoy the rest of this free practice, while Stale Beer and Johnny Crash are, Johnny Crash definitely enjoying his pilot handle right now as he stares at that OSD, knowing that he's lived up to his name. Mayhem causing some more craziness, crashes but recovers out over the audience practically, coming around that last corner in second place behind Slowpoke, who has taken the win here in the 10th, 9th, 7th race of the Buffalo Bando elimination round.
Dang. I'm glad to see Slowpoke stay alive. You know, he made it here in the number 32 position after qualifying. He did not enjoy the best 2 consecutive rounds format, but he made it into the intermediate.
By the skin of his teeth.
And now he's still alive here in that consolation bracket in race number 7. And so something like that race 9, race 10, it's going to be something like that. Something like that as we'll move on.
But yeah, what a story. I'm excited to keep watching Slowpoke all the way through. Hopefully, as he is working through here, he's establishing confidence and recovering from a potentially less than ideal qualification run. But it doesn't matter. Once you get in, drone racing can go any way, any which way. That is absolutely for sure. In the meantime, let's check out a little bit of Tiny Whoop. We're still flying the grass-fed Whoop here on the side. I'm going to reach over because Joe is not paying attention to what's going on from what I'm saying, but that's okay because he's trying to solve problems that I can't hope to address. But we're definitely confident with the two that are moving on, Mayhem and Slowpoke. We're going to bump them up. But at the same time, man, this guy's cruising over here.
Sorry, I had something going on in my ear. We're just
You're
doing
good.
a little support, lifetime support action.
You know, Joe, I just don't like being hung out to dry when I'm trying to figure out what to say next.
You're doing a heck of a job.
Gone off into your own world, which is great because, like I said, you're solving the problems that I wouldn't know how to even start addressing.
I don't know.
I could just sit here, look pretty, and hold a mic.
You're doing a heck of a job, man. Normally I'm a little more stressed in this position, and we're living the dream. Look at this.
I'm
running
glad.
the stream
I'm
deck
glad
as
to be
well.
able to help cover for you. You know, you're welcome to come up with excuses.
Yeah, look at that.
Woo-doo.
Look at this.
Right here we've
CJ
got
Haas.
Chris Haas, a world
And look at
renowned
Slowpoke. Hey,
fixed-wing
Slowpoke. We're just
pilot
talking about Slowpoke.
and upcoming
Look at
drone
this.
racing pilot.
Dude, you're still alive.
How
I'm
did
alive.
you end up qualifying today?
I made it in by the skin of my teeth. Horrible luck in the
15th.
qualifiers.
Are you happy to be in 15th?
but
Would you rather
I
have
feel
been in
good.
the
That was a
sandbag
good
class?
run.
I mean, the
And,
intermediate class,
you know,
or are you happy to
hi,
be
Mom.
in the
I'm
pro
on
class?
TV.
I'm happy to be in the upper class.
Good luck.
Because I just get to race with more fast guys, and it's more entertaining for me.
What's your plan heading into the mains here at the Buffalo Bando? How do you feel on the main track, and what are your objectives to stay in and get to the podium?
Not crash. And actually, I'm really enjoying the track, albeit there's random, guy wires that kill you out of nowhere. But other than that, it's pretty good.
Yeah. So what Chris is talking about is when you come down through the dive gate, you're supposed to be able to go out and around a little bit of the truck that's holding up the wedge. But there's zip lines, zip line wires running straight across.
Actually, like what I found to be the optimal angle to go down that, because the first 3 packs I did, I went through them twice and then hit them twice.
I think my first battery was with the GoPro, and I think I gapped them. I went between them. And it was, I freaked out.
Oh, yeah. I definitely did that once and went, okay, that's where the wires are, and then proceeded to hit them the very next lap.
Well, once we get to finals, what FPV handle are we looking for you, Mr. Chris Haas?
Haas 214.
Cool. Well, thanks for stopping by. We're about to start our next round. It's good to see you.
You know, Chris Thomas came up with that handle. A lot of stories, a lot of fun.
What are the numbers for?
With CJ Haas 214.
Or can we not talk about it?
Some area codes and stuff like that. Yeah, yeah.
Something boring.
Goes
Gotcha.
back. Yeah, but that's one of the great stories from 2017. Joe Nall. All the people that allegedly have been blacklisted from Joe Nall actually were welcomed back in 2018, other than Chris Thomas and Joe Scully. We partied a little too hard.
You guys got blacklisted?
Yeah, we're now no longer allowed at Nall for real.
I assume not for flying violations.
No, we had too much fun is
Gotcha.
what we had.
Okay, all right, I understood. I hear you loud and clear.
CJ
Who's
Haas.
racing in this next heat?
Well, it's going to be Ricky, Punk Kills, APC, FPV, and Otter. Now, Ricky was second overall in the intermediate at the Mega Drone X, if you remember that back in November. Punk Kills is the highest seed in our intermediate brackets.
As far as intermediate heats go, there's a lot of experience taking these guys around the course.
Heck yeah. You got Otter, APC, FPV. Hefty was just telling us we are the first ever drone race to have 2 interviews one time. We did it. We made history.
Wait,
You're interviewing Chris Haas. I was interviewing Slowpoke. But Slowpoke, it was good. They loved it. No, it was all in time.
We were both talking through this at the same time?
It was amazing.
Oh,
yeah.
gosh.
Yeah, we don't have 2 studios.
That's really funny. I was like, yeah, we're that good, guys.
Oh,
we have lots of experience. Punk Kills, our top qualifier, out front with a confident lead. But APC and Otter are close on top of each other. Ricky, however, despite his amazing performance at at Mega Drone X, has had a little bit of a crash. It seems like concrete does not agree with him as much as a bunch of boulders in a hole.
Wow.
Punk Kills, however, still holding on to that commanding lead. The battle to watch right now is between Otter and APC FPV. Otter with a little bit of a slow split S on the high end of our course, but APC capitalizing on that. They're now the half second apart right now.
Yeah, that's it, man. This has been a good one to watch. Starting with 4, still with 3, and now we're putting Punk Kills and Otter onto that final lap. And APC as well. Anyone's game. It's going to come down to that checkered here.
If you
Round out race number 8.
Take a peek back up in your top right corner. Punk Kills is coming in for his final lap. He takes first place, and now we've got a close battle between APC and Otter. APC and Otter hitting the same obstacle just at about the same
This is
time.
for the bump
They're
up.
coming up. They're
APC
going on.
just ahead of Otter
And-
now.
Oh, Otter takes the win, I think,
Oh,
here
wow.
at in the third round. Oh, my gosh.
Well,
like-
it says they I don't know.
I don't know. We're going to have to do some DVR review. We're talking to our judges here in a second, but that was tight. That was super close.
For
Last
some reason, we
turn.
missed the lap on Otter. It did
So
not count.
We're missing a lap on Otter.
So what did you see? Did you see Otter just ahead APC at the start finish?
I saw Otter go through first, I think. What do you guys think in the comments? Can you tell us who you think was the first one to go around the corner? That was, that was close and exciting. I cannot wait. I'm pretty sure it was Otter, but they were right there. Like I tried to look at both at the same time. I am not an iguana, and I cannot move my eyes independently, but it was hard to tell. Jammer FPV from the comments thinks that it was Otter, which is kind of correlating with what I saw. How about our judges over here? Who did you guys see? I guess you guys don't really know. Who do you think won, Otter or APC? Or got second place? Who was watching Otter?
Otter?
Well, sorry, one, but of the second. Otter was 2, you think? All right, Otter. We got a lot of bets on Otter.
Judges, it'll be Punk Hills first, Otter second, APC third, Ricky fourth.
Who's on FPVlive.tv? Who's running those comments?
That's probably Chris Toombs.
Okay, gotcha. That would be a chameleon. Oh yeah, not an iguana. I race drones. I do not know that much about animal speciation. What's
the species of animals?
What's the study of
they call it the study of animals. Zoology?
Zoology? Yeah,
Hey.
I'm not a zoologist. I just fly drones, and I am just happy to be here.
Now, they are taking another look back out at the racetrack here to just verify the finish of that last race, even though our judges, and I believe our live stream as well, Nurk, saying that.
Yes, yeah, I am confident, but it is always worth the review. If I was in that position as Otter or APC, I would definitely want to double check for sure to know who was our winner here or not our winner, our runner-up here in this heat. Because the person here gets bumped up into the next winning round, and that's an important position to be in as a competitor. You know, these guys are battling it out for the most possible laps and heats that they can, and so it's good to know for sure whether you won or lost.
I mean, it's winner's bracket. You know, if it was just a bad beat, you still got the loser's bracket, but they are playing it back out there, so unofficially. This is unofficially how the bracket's going to look. Moving up in that winner's bracket, we're going to say Otter, along with Punk Kills, 1 spot away from race number 14, the final 4 in our intermediate, which is going to drop Ricky and APC FPV either into race 10 or race 9. Not sure about this graphic.
But APC put up a huge battle against Otter. I think he was probably a little bit more consistent around it, but had one big mistake there at the end. Otter caught back up and got in front and just barely edged him out and got into that winner bracket. As a pilot, as a racer, I can tell you that is the best place to be. You have all of your losses ahead of you, so you can really relax and fly the best that you can without that pressure of potentially being eliminated at any moment.
So DVR review, sorry to interrupt.
No problem.
Because I have this on here.
I
They're
appreciate
saying
that you said
APC
sorry.
Ahead of Otter is
Whoa.
what they said after the DVR review.
Really? Interesting. I'm a little disappointed in that because I was pretty confident that I had it as Otter, but if they're looking at that and they're seeing it, what an opportunity for APC to have gotten that review, gotten that recall, and known that he was the victor. Sorry, I thought you were about to start speaking here to me, but I'm going to cover a little bit longer. Go take a look at the comments and see what people are saying. Not much. And oologist, just an oologist.
Oh, so here's the story.
Here's the story.
After DVR review, The gate that is out there that looks like a start-finish, that is only for the speed trap. That is not the start-finish. The actual start-finish is inside a Stonehenge. So,
oh,
yeah, Otter missed Stonehenge. The start-finish
Did he
is
know
inside
that?
the runes. He didn't really know that, apparently, is what I'm hearing, that
I didn't know
background
that.
chatter.
This is news to
And
me.
Nurk didn't know that.
That's
I don't know
really
if our
good to
judges
know.
knew that, but now we know, for real,
That
the
sounds-
start-finish.
As a pilot, that sounds like a rerun to me.
Well, no, according to our flight line director, Paul Adkins, that he has informed every pilot that the start-finish is inside the runes. So
Ooh,
that is
that's
where we
scary.
sit.
That's rough.
That's
we
rough?
watched Otter pass through that gate that I thought was the start-finish gate, and maybe he thought that too. Turned off, didn't quite finish through the Stonehenge. And which arch? So in the Stonehenge, there's 1, 2, 3 arches, and then you shoot up. Which arch of those 3 is the start-finish one?
It's actually the second one, and this is
Okay.
a testament to our good friends at Immersion RC with their 8-way lap RF. That thing's been sitting out there for 2 days inside of the second arch. No one's brought in the timing system. It's been sitting out there since I put it out there on arrival.
It's been raining on and off
It's-
all weekend long.
The testament. It's a toy you can't destroy.
That was an excellent plug. I appreciate how smoothly that's
You know
been
who's
in there.
with us here is China Hobby Line. They're doing great things in the battery world. And, hey, Team China Hobby Line, what can you say about them here today, Nurk?
I think one of the biggest struggles that pilots are having these days is availability of components. I think, especially with batteries and with the big changes that MultiGP has made this year, just being able to rely on having
Open.
stock available. Whether or not a battery is the best, if you don't have it in hands, it's not going to be a great battery. So I'm excited to be a part of China Hobby Line, who's on top of it. They are consistently racing to the finish line and to the stock room to make sure that our pilots are getting out front. So I'm excited to be a part of China Hobby Line.
Yeah, we're super excited to have them with us. Big supporter of this event.
They're also based, or the team captain Frank Sarfino is based here in Buffalo. So it's another story of hometown heroes. Can the China Hobby Line packs win here at home in Buffalo, New York, not city?
I like your style.
Cool. Well, so we have decided then that APC is moving on. Otter's moving down to the loser bracket, but that does not mean he's out. He is able to continue to, fly well as he just did. Just got barely edged out, and has another shot for romance here at Buffalo Bando 2018.
So I just fixed things on the bracket here. We're on race number 9. So this is Fat Kid Fender, JTB, and Jeff PV. They're up. On deck will be Mayhem, Slowpoke, Otter, and Ricky. And the top 2 in this race will go to race 12 to battle the Mayhem, Slowpoke, Otter, and Ricky show. And we're just a couple stages away from them making it into this final 4. This is race 9, as we have it up on the screen so you can follow along on our bracket.
Do you have any predictions for race 9 here, Joe?
Predictions on race 9. Wow. Jeff PV. I think Jeff PV, all the way from Detroit Multi-Rotor City, he's got a good situation here. Fender, that hometown advantage, but, had some issues a little bit earlier. Fat Kid, he's running your young guns that's fast. I mean, even JTB qualifying higher than these guys. I can't pick one, Nurk. I'm trying my best.
And that's the beauty of drone racing. You never know what's going to happen. Looks like we have our pilots out on the field. We currently have, I believe,
JTB's out already in the net, so down to 3. Losers bracket, we're trying to stay alive.
We've got Fat Kid. We have Fender out front, I think.
Yeah. Well, no, you got Fat Kid, then
out
Jeff
front.
PV,
Yeah,
then
sorry.
Fender.
Thank you. The Fat Kid, or it looks like Fender might be a lap behind, but Fat Kid and Jeff PV battling it out for first, second. Looks like Fat Kid has a pretty commanding lead.
Fat Kid has the lead. Jeff now through Stonehenge, and Fender missing that line on Stonehenge, working his way around.
Jeff PV has a lot of space. Hopefully his spotter is in his ear telling him to take it easy. He's got space to work with. He doesn't need to push it that hard. He can just kind of cruise on home without making any mistakes like that. There's a big turnaround right there, but he got it under control and is now heading along for his second lap.
Fender smashing out in the back of Stonehenge, and that's just going to leave Jeff PV So
oh my gosh! And then Jeff FPV, that's the commander or the commentator curse. As soon as we start talking about him, he goes down. But it looks like he rolled through the Immersion RC lap timing system, triggered for his 3rd lap.
Why not?
And gets that 2nd position out of the double elimination round and moves on. You can, if you look at Fender's screen right here, you can see our audience members checking out the quad hanging in the net. Like, look at that guy.
Man,
what a funny way to just end that heat. I love it when the spectators get a little bit of enjoyment out of it. But
so let's take a little look-see right there. So Fat Kid and Jeff PV staying alive, moving to race number 12. And that's going to be where it comes to an end for Fender and JTB.
Earlier in qualifying, JTB, I happened to be sitting over in the indoor course taking a look at what was going on, just learning the track from watching DVR. I popped onto JTB's feed, and his camera was way out of focus. So I'm standing on this side of like what is essentially a soccer field, yelling at the top of my lungs, "Check your focus!" I'm like making this motion, like you did, and he figured it out. He figured it out before he went and sat down and lost his opportunity to qualify. So it was pretty funny. And, so he gave me a set of props to because I don't have any props with me apparently.
Why not?
My shipment was delayed last minute, so.
Let's do a little tiny whoop action right now. Is this the dude that just showed up with his... No, this is Johnny Crash. Wasn't Johnny Crash in this originally?
I think so.
And now he's just whooping for the rest of his event.
Hopefully,
Johnny Crash.
How old is Johnny Crash? Is he old enough to enjoy a beer here at Buffalo Riverworks?
Yeah, there's a beer right beside him as he's whooping. There's a look at us here in our broadcast area. Johnny Crash with the mobile camera. Look at the imitation, the replicas of the silos outside.
Johnny, can you give us a view of the bar over there? Oh, gosh.
Oh, bang.
Maybe low on batteries, and he's through the legs. The old tiny whoop nutmeg,
Ooh.
as you do. And here's a big shot of Johnny Crash's money maker.
Let's go back outside.
That's a fun screen. That was pretty good, though. You have to admit. Always go for the pun when you can. So now we've got Ricky Bobby, Mayhem, Slowpoke, and Otter. Not necessarily in that order. Looks like we might have 2 people plugged in on the bottom right, channel 4.
Yeah,
but,
we're trying to share
I'm
a
sure
channel.
we'll get that Clevis.
That'd be race band 7. Slowpoke might still be reeling from our interview earlier. We'll see what the story is with him. And a gorgeous day out there.
Here for an interview while we're waiting here on the next lap to continue. Sidewinder of flight test here is
How's it going?
You're currently in the winner's bracket right now, aren't you?
I am, yeah. I'm just taking it easy right now. Just
doesn't look
the
easy.
weather.
It looks like you're crushing it.
Yeah, hey, I just wanted to get in that winner's bracket so the pressure was off, you know.
That's what we were saying. We were saying that the best position to be in as a racer is, you don't have the pressure of an elimination coming up, so you can chill out, fly your race, and move right on.
Exactly. That's what
So
I'm doing.
Are you feeling pretty confident right now?
I'm feeling good. I'm just going to try to go out there, give it my all. My quads have been pretty good so far. I mean, that one that landed on the roof, I got that back. It's still running. So
that's right.
Yeah, that's
what happened there? We wanted to go back and review DVR,
I just
but
got off my line and then hit one of the zip lining things, and then it kicked me over and flipped me upside down.
Those invisible lines that we were talking about with Chris Haas earlier caught Sidewinder and pushed him sideways into the top of the silo.
Yep.
Who's your main competition in the
Dave Fingar, which is what's his handle? I can't even think of it.
It's all
right
good.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Air Badger.
Air Badger.
Him, and then what's the young kid's name?
Fat Kid.
Oh, he's quick.
Yeah.
He's definitely competition for sure.
So, yeah. Wait, sorry. Aren't you supposed to be racing right now?
Oh, I'm
quick,
on deck.
run, go, get out of here.
Hey, that's a win for the bracket graphic.
We should have just messed with him and been like, as soon as he sat down, we're just like, oh, you're supposed to be flying right now, right?
Well, it looks like outside they're still trying to get Slowpoke on a channel, and so because here this isn't the most ideal situation that we're only running 4 seats in this double elimination bracket. When you're going to see, next weekend at our Southeast Regional Finals, the regional series presented by the Academy of Model Aeronautics in Alabama, where we'll qualify with all 8 seats.
I think you're supposed to say Alabama.
We're going to go do some slammer in Alabama. So you're going to see we use 8 channels, and then when we do this bracket, it's a lot easier to work our way up when we, you know, top 2 move up, bottom 2 move down. When you have exactly the same amount of pilots as you do seats, it gets very difficult, and I think that's what they're dealing with out there, because we're dealing with the polarization. Let's take a little look.
Looks like we've got Slowpoke locked in finally, but now we've lost Otter. So that's one of the factors of drone racing, I think, is we're dealing with the infancy here. Video management is always a challenge. It's gotten so much better thanks to partners like Immersion RC and I don't know who else sponsored this, so I am not going to say more.
So many cool
video
people.
Transmitter providers, but it's always good when those problems are easy and easy to solve, and makes the racing day and process so much smoother and so much better when everything goes well. I personally can't wait to get out there and fly again because video at this event has been a dream no matter what.
Yeah. It's been absolutely amazing back in the back, and you know, we try and get one of these best case situations, and that's all we can do. We want to make sure that it's the same for everybody, and really excited to see everyone outside. You know, really those that are interested in how the video works here in FPV, and there's a lot of people that wonder about antennas and stuff like that. All the major events by Multi-GP, the name that leads the game, powered by Video Aerial Systems. We use those crosshair antennas, and we're using them here because when we were flying indoors with all this metal, we had the crosshairs on, so it ignores the signals from the other 2 flight lines behind it and some of those signal reflections. We absolutely love them. Now, outside, we actually put some low-gain IRC patches on there and a Spironet. You know those things that came with your Fat Shark goggles that I know a lot of you guys just throw away, that old Spironet. That's what we have on those receivers out there because we just want a nice, clean, pick them up while they fly around. It's a close proximity. And you got to remember the secret, the science to preparing for the best video possible for your drone race is the IB Crazy method. How did they fly 18 drones on one racetrack at the 2016 champions? Well, it was 16 analog quads, plus a Phantom, a Mavic, maybe a Spark.
I remember specifically I flew a ProSight quad during that thing.
You were part of that.
So I think there were 2 or 3 more.
I think we gave, there were 2 ProSights. So we went 16 analog, 2 ProSight, and it was 18 and a half because the Phantom was the half.
Inspire. I got you.
Yeah, that's how it worked out.
It's 5.8.
Long time ago. I don't remember the quads, but what I do remember, the secret to it was all the pilots were in the corner of the flight line.
Yep.
That's where we put our towers or our flight line every single time. Also, low power, everyone 25 milliwatt. We used A and E bands back in the day. We didn't know any better, right? Don't come after us, Hobby King.
Did know better, but I think part of the process was to prove that you only needed 20 megahertz
separation
of separation.
To 20 and alternating polarization.
Absolutely.
And no diversity. Everyone was with their modules in the corner beaming at the course. It's the IB Crazy method, and that's how we afford decent video. As we look out on the track right now, still with only 3 up on our screen. Still trying to cycle those.
Looks like Otter might be switching through some video channels here. I keep seeing a little bit of a flicker here and there from somebody, but
well, here's the power of live video. Let's go inside, do some tiny whip action here inside of Riverworks. Hey, there's
right
us.
in front of us.
It's our broadcast booth right there.
Ooh.
Look at that, hitting the gap on the Apex sign. Who's flying? It's Johnny
ironic.
Crash again.
Still Johnny Crash. He's going now for the some of the gates. Johnny, can we see that fan?
Hey,
we're gonna send Johnny up into the fan over there. There we go. Not a fan like a person. A fan like that thing. Look at that. I love how that looks. It looks so cool. Just the whole world is rotating around the fan, and the fan is just continuing on its way. I bet you can't land on one of the blades.
Oh yeah, can he land on a blade? They're losing their mind here inside of Riverworks.
I hope he tries. Oh, my gosh. He's getting close. Come on, go for the outside. The inside's easy mode.
Look at that.
Oh, he gets smacked in the butt. Oh, my gosh, he gets low. I love a good tiny whip session. It's always the funniest moment.
That's called a big fan.
He's going to get smacked. Oh, he bails. That's probably a good choice.
That's a big fan from the Big Fans Company, and if you go to the Dominican, they have them in the airport as well, right in the Dominican. And underneath,
that's really what it's called.
It's called. This is from the Big Fans Corporation.
Oh, yeah, it says that up there.
And There's about 7 of them in the Dominican Republic, the one that you land when you fly to Dominican.
Looks like we've started our race, by the way.
Oh, let's go to it.
Looks like we're only running with 3. I'm not sure why that is, but we got Mayhem out in first, Slowpoke in second, with Ricky Bobby just finishing his second lap.
Well, they tell us Otter with some technical difficulties, and that's where his journey is going to come to an end.
Mayhem with a beautiful power loop into the gate, or into the dive gate up top, and that gives him a big lead over Slowpoke. We're now seeing Ricky Bobby in I'm confused. I'm sorry.
Don't get confused. Just let it go. Just let her dangle.
Mayhem back out front.
There you go. Let's go to Stonehenge on to that final lap.
Beautiful
Mayhem, your leader.
power loop.
Slowpoke
Look
in
at
the
that.
number 2 spot. No, it's Ricky in number 2 spot.
I think it's Ricky in the number 2. Yeah.
Slowpoke needs to catch up here on this final lap now.
Slowpoke's just behind. The battle is going on between first and second, Mayhem and Ricky Bobby, but Slowpoke is not out of this. He's pushing to get in as close as he can.
There's
Looks like
that announcer
Mayhem is
jinx.
triggering early, maybe.
Slowpoke went for it, Nurk.
I shouldn't have said that.
Yep, there we go.
I feel a little bad.
It's going to be Ricky Bobby just ahead of Mayhem.
They're bringing it in for a landing. They know they've won. They've moved on. Ricky Bobby with a little bit of a aileron roll, having just moved on in this elimination round.
Yeah, that was it, bud. That was it for them.
Slowpoke and Otter not able to move on at all, having made mistakes here in this final round. That's that pressure that I was talking about. When you are in that position, when you have to compete under that much pressure, it's nerve-wracking. You know, if you make that mistake, you're done. You're going home.
For real.
You know, traveling from as far as some of these guys have, it's rough to go home with nothing.
You know, it's a crazy field. I mean, we have pilots making the trip from Texas. We have my good buddy Sky all the way from Colorado coming in with his misses as well. Some long trips into here to Buffalo Bando and Riverworks. You know, a couple more partners. DalProp is with us here in 2018 at Buffalo Bando, and I'm a big fan of the DalProps. I'm still rocking them, and if you have any more just regular dual blades, 4 inches, I'm going to take them. That's what I run on my Vortex. Yeah, that's what I run on my Vortex 180 Mini. Having a hard time finding those 40-45s. That's what I like to run. I'm going to hit up my friends at DalProp. Let's clear the stock of DalProps of 40-45 bullnose here, buddy Scully.
Sorry, I was enjoying that. All right, sorry, we're going for the somebody was shaking their tiny whoop like no problem. I forgot his handle, which is I feel bad about.
Johnny Crash?
No.
And then another guy? Young guy.
Are we doing a race here?
Looks like we may have a...
Can we get a... Johnny, can we get a tiny whoop race going here? Oh, wait, you're not flying. Who's flying?
Coming up here in a...
This is a father-son race,
minutes
please?
Here, race 11.
Can we do this?
The Air Badger,
can we get you guys on the start line? Have both of you
kills in APC FPV. They're going to be up here in a few moments. On deck will be Fat Kid, Jeff PV, Ricky, and Mayhem. This is race 11. The top 2 in this one, Nurk, going to our finals, and that is the race on deck. Not this tiny whip race. Everyone's a winner when you tiny whip.
This is the winner bracket. The two winners here. So this is a semifinal. So the 2 winners go straight to finals. They're guaranteed to be in top in the 4th place. But then if we also will go back to our we'll go back to our loser bracket and pull up the top 2 from that round. Come over here. Let's see what you got. Going over to this one. So this is, introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Christopher Slowpoke Perry.
Slowpoke. What happened? You were announcing from the other side of the room to check out this carnage. So, what just happened?
All right, so I was heads up again. It was 3 racers. I wound up in 3rd. I was in 2nd. He caught me, and I was pushing it to try to just get into that 2nd spot.
I got to be honest. We were sitting here. We're like, he needs to make something happen to get there. Right. And just after we said that,
I pushed it hard. I tried to send it. Man, I wound up smashing into the top of a gate.
You sent it right into a wall.
Send it right into a wall. What else can you do, man?
What's the damage here? We're gonna go back. Oh, here, can you stay here for just a second? We're gonna come back to you as soon as this is over.
Watching Air Badger, a little bit of a mid-air off the start. He is now back at traffic, even though he's first one to really send it. And unfortunately, it's going to be a little rough there.
Air Badger's sitting on the ground. He's not getting back up. That's
Punk kills an
good.
APC FPV, low side of the Bando, but your leader's going to be Sidewinder here after 1.
Yeah, we just had a conversation with Sidewinder. We were talking about how excited he was to be in the winner's bracket with no pressure. So now he's just chilling. He's flying his race. No problem. But Punk kills coming up from behind, putting a little bit of pressure on him. I wonder what that's going to do when they get into a close situation. Holy cow.
A battle for the lead. Punk kills just ahead of Sidewinder here onto that final lap.
Oh,
but
my
don't
gosh.
count out APC FPV.
Punk kills just shot the gap between the rails, and Sidewinder is on the ground. APC FPV coming in. Sidewinder trying to turtle mode. Gets back up. He's upright, but he has fallen back behind APC. Sidewinder has some work to do here with 1 lap to go. Punk kills now going back through the silos and up
Punk
to
kills
the power
with the
loop.
W. Punk kills.
APC is down. I don't know what's going on anymore.
Sidewinder.
Did Sidewinder just take it?
Sidewinder pulling up second.
Oh, my
A mistake by APC FPV.
made a mistake on the last turn. Like we were saying before, the start-finish gate is the second section of the abandoned silos over there, and he crashed just before making it through there, giving Sidewinder that automatic bump into the finals. So now Sidewinder and Punk kills are guaranteed 4th position at worst.
Yeah.
But
they're in the final 4.
Win.
Heck yeah.
Wow.
And not the worst for APC FPV and Air Badger. They go from race 11, that winner's bracket, right to the semifinal round. There you see it on the screen, race number 13. And the top 2 of that will go right into the final, right into the final 4.
And while we're sorting out video channels, we're going to go back to Slowpoke and see what the damage was on his quad after his crash. Tell us about the crash and then the damage.
So the crash was me sending it. Couldn't send it that fast. But have you ever seen this?
It's your cocoon of...
So the SuperTech strap actually held my battery's shrink wrap onto the quad, and while the battery ejected from all that force.
That's the thing out there. You can see the cocoon of shrink wrap left over while the pulsed battery got spewed from the quad. But I see your camera's also pretty mangled there, too.
Yeah. Camera is completely mangled. We'll see if it still works. I'll put a new lens in it, see what happens. But I'm not.
I see some wires dangling out the side there, too. What was that?
That looks like it came out of the camera.
The camera's not going to be happy. It looks like we got a spectator here. Check it out how the quad's looking, but that's all good. Come on in. Come check it out. Come over here. Come on down. Come on down. Come on down. I want to talk to you. All right. Sounds good. But yeah, so thanks for stopping by, Slowpoke. You have already disappeared, but that's okay. We appreciate your time and showing off your carnage. Anyway, we are now moving on to weird pictures on Joe's computer.
Yeah, buddy. Don't worry about that. We're going on to race. Look away. It's race 12.
Joe was just pulling up the Buffalo Riverworks website right as pro wrestling showed up. Yeah. And I was like,
well,
Joe, are you looking at men in spandex again?
I'm getting some director notes over text message. They're saying talk about the Riverworks, and, you know.
I have been.
We have been. You know, we've given them.
I'm not getting paid enough.
After starting qualifier round number 1 at 4:40 in the afternoon yesterday, thank you, Riverworks. On to the next thing. No, this is a great venue. It's actually a 5,000 square feet venue. And they have all kinds of entertainment here. So they host all kinds of sports. Behind us, right underneath this tiny whip action that you're seeing on your screen, they do like roller derby. They'll do like floor hockey.
Pro wrestling.
Pro wrestling, of course. Outdoors, where we had our qualifying track, they play hockey in the winter. And they also play lacrosse in the summer and stick hockey, broom ball.
Field hockey?
Field hockey as well. Maybe a little bit of rugby.
Do they do rollerblading hockey?
Oh,
too?
Yeah, heck yeah.
I thought I saw rollerblades in a... What about the high ropes course? That was pretty cool. There is a high ropes course above the course. So, like, the venue for the qualifying track, the indoor track, is split into 2 different arenas. One of them currently is a lacrosse field, and the other one is like a basketball court. And then above the 2, there's like a walkway with like rafters that go all the way up to the ceiling. And along those poles all the way along there's a high ropes course, and it looks super fun. Like I'm totally afraid of heights, but it's always fun to see what's going on with that. But we're having a little bit of technical difficulty with our big screen here. Joe is walking away to figure out what's going on, so I'm going to keep you entertained by doing a dance and singing a song. Well, we get to check out Tiny Whipping here as who's flying right now. I don't know his name, but he's a younger guy from Detroit. He's ripping around through all of the rafters up above us in this awesome venue. I mean, that's just the best part about Tiny Whipping, is exploring and figuring out where you can get without getting into too much trouble. I love it. I'm going to see if I can switch this back over to the track. Joe, can we get the switch back over to the DVR while you're working on that? I think we're about to go live. I don't know how to do it, unfortunately. I'm just a guest host. Can we see the DVR from outside track, please?
I don't know if we can.
Oh, you think?
I don't know if it's wired like that.
We will try. Okay. No, we got it. Yeah? No? We can't see that here.
Yeah, we can't see their
my
DVR.
bad.
We had some wiring issues, and we had some wiring issues inside here too. We'll get Bill from NLFPV to come inside and get with our friends at Riverworks, as their big screen just died on us behind us.
We cursed them too. As soon as
I
we
know.
talk about how much we love being here at Riverworks, we have a small
all the great
technical
things all of a sudden
difficulty.
clunk.
It's all about the commentator curse. As soon as you start talking about something, it goes wrong.
And it looks like it's our input to them. I don't know.
It was,
Hard for me to diagnose.
about 15 years ago. Somebody started talking about Joe Scully's hair, and it just disappeared. It was crazy. Like, you know, if you've seen, like, you know, like some people can. I don't know. I give up on that one. We just lost this screen again. Okay, cool. It looks like we might have restored something. But yeah, no, the commentator curse took not only Slowpoke's quad, the big screen, and Joe's hair, but we have potential to knock some more people out of finals here,
Dude,
heading into the thing.
I
That
just
being
fixed
said,
that TV
I don't think
single-handedly. Let's
Joe
look at the
just
overhead.
fixed the TV. We have. I
See
don't
the TV on the screen? I fixed the TV.
look at that, Joe. You should start a new career in home electronics installation, because dang, you know what you're doing.
Yeah. So
It's the old IT adage. Have you tried turning it off and on again?
So honestly, how I fixed it, Nurk, I unplugged the HDMI and plugged it back in again.
No, not even the power.
Nope.
Wow.
I tried to power
You're
cycle
that
it.
good.
Well, I mean, there is a splitter deal.
Splitter deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Top quality commentating right there. A deal.
There's a splitter deal inside there. I don't know.
Oh.
It's kind of a pretty high-end
I don't know if
setup.
I want
but
a
we're-
splitter deal. It sounds uncomfortable.
We're pretty excited. Speaking about being excited,
And
we
uncomfortable.
are 3 races left. This is the coming in hot part of the consolation bracket.
3 left.
Yeah. This is race 12, then
Well, can we see
13,
the
then
bracket for a
14.
sec before we go over to our thing?
Looks like we're waiting for Fat Kid to. Uh-oh. What happened there? There's your bracket.
Wait for it.
So let me hit cut. Something happened with my scenes. There you
isn't
go.
that 2 races?
This is
oh,
race
no,
12.
We've got to build the rest of race 13. Okay.
Yeah. So consolation bracket is where we're at.
Down in the loser bracket, we have, or consolation bracket, excuse me. We have Fat Kid, Jeff PV, Ricky, and Mayhem all vying for in this quarterfinal, essentially, right?
Correct.
'Cause if they win or get second, they bump into race 13, and then race 13 and race 14 will decide who's going. No, we already decided.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the coming in hot.
This is why I just.
So
lied.
this is where the pilots race back to back, right? Top 2 in this go into the next race, semifinal of the consolation bracket. Top 2 of that into the final 4. 4 pilots going for it. Wow, right through that star dive
Mayhem
gate up
nearly
high.
causing some chaos.
These
As
silos.
He goes down through the dive gate with a crazy maneuver. Mayhem up over the top. Right behind him, Ricky Bobby. But, oh my gosh, we have lost Mayhem's video. He's falling. He smashes into the ground. Ricky Bobby continuing on into first place. No, I'm sorry, Fat Kid out front with Ricky Bobby and Jeff. 1-2 battle. You can see them battling back and forth on screen. Ricky Bobby maybe making a maneuver to go down through the dive gate before him. Ricky Bobby comes out of the dive gate in front with Fat Kid still well in the lead. He's starting his third and final lap right now, but Ricky Bobby and Jeff PV still battling it out. Mayhem back up in the air. I don't know how. That was an insane plummet down the silo into the ground, and it's still going, but I think he's a lap behind. Jeff PV and Ricky still battling it out. Fat Kid goes down. Fat Kid's on the ground, and his battery came unplugged. I don't think he finished.
No. Oh, no.
I think that takes him out of first place and puts first and second down to Jeff PV and Ricky, with Mayhem now putting himself back into an opportunity to take home another victory. What a heartbreak for Fat Kid. He's still looking on the ground. That is big.
Here comes
Ricky Bobby with the win.
To decide
Jeff
it.
PV with number 2. Mayhem bringing up third place with a heartbreaking end to his run. Him and Fat Kid going home. Man, what a battle for Mayhem after falling down the entire side of the silo, smashing straight into the ground, and still gets up and finishes.
So our results official on the screen. Our scoring says Ricky, Mayhem, Jeff.
I saw Mayhem's trigger a little early, to be honest. I'm pretty sure I saw it trigger when he went around the...
That's what I was thinking, too. I think it's Ricky, Jeff, Mayhem.
I think so, too. I'm pretty sure I saw Mayhem's trigger a little bit early, but holy crap, what a race.
We're watching this live, and that was our understanding.
Fat Kid out front on probably the second or third turn from the end, smashes into something, flips around, lands upside down, and can't get back upright, giving space for Ricky to bring home first place with what we believe to be Jeff PV.
Scoring says Mayhem in second. Like you said, you look like an early trigger. While we were watching, we saw Jeff PV grab second, and it sounds like they're going to do a DVR review out in the field. And regardless, so Ricky for sure is racing right now.
So he's got to get his quad ready.
Yeah, and it's either going to be Jeff PV or Mayhem with them. We'll await that official word to come in. Because now it's back-to-back. This is now going to be the Consolation semifinal.
It's as somebody that's been in that position where like you have to move into like you've come up through the Consolation bracket and you get to the semifinal or this quarterfinal, you win, you go to the semifinal, you win, you got to go to the final, and having all your gear ready, you have all the batteries charged that you need, that is stressful. And it's a testament to pilots that can make it all the way through. Are just, it's awesome to see them succeed under that much stress.
Well, official word coming in that it's as we saw it. So DMR, Detroit Multi-Rotor City, staying alive. It will be Ricky and Jeff PV staying alive, which means it's going to be a top 5 finish for Mayhem and Fat Kid. That's where their journey comes to an end here in the intermediate.
But after what a battle. Man, Fat Kid was crushing it. And just, what a bummer. Same thing with Mayhem, was plummeting from all the way from the top of the silo. Smashed straight into concrete and still finished that heat. I love that. That is powerful right there.
So there we are right now. We're at race number 13. This is the coming in hot heat. So as you look to Ricky and look to Jeff PV, right? Race 12, 13, 14. That extra pack to come into that final, which is on deck with Punk Hills and Sidewinder. We're almost at the tail end here of our intermediate bracket, and coming up our pro division, our top 16, pretty huge that we're going to be getting to a little bit later on here. Nurk, looks like we're just trying to get one more guy on channels loaded out on the track here.
Let's take a look back at some of these guys' journey. Or you want to talk about finals?
I was gonna.
Yeah, we're talking about finals. Sorry.
Yeah, we're doing a channel change out there in our intermediate. Looking at your top 16 that's coming up here in our pro class in just a little bit. You got Sky all the way from Colorado qualifying the 16 spot.
Dang, that's close. I know he really wants it here.
Has 214 We interviewed him earlier, also from up by way of Michigan.
Yep.
We got Spools in 14th. We got the Young Gun Viking FPV. That's Olaf in 13th.
Olaf.
Beast Mode, DMR, Detroit Multi-Rotor City staying alive. Number 12
right
spot.
there.
Roscoe FPV in 11th, making the trip from the Carolinas.
You're live right now.
Walked right in the camera. We got June making the trip up on team ReadyMadeRC.
It's G-Yoon.
G-Yoon?
G-Yoon.
Not Goon?
Not Goon. But maybe you knew that.
We got Ethan FPV as well. Ethan Kling making the trip from over
Holy
Massachusetts
crap.
way.
That guy has been, he's my Billster of this race. I've been watching him fly. It's nuts. I'm scared of him.
Qualifying 8th overall. We got our buddy John Chapman, Johnny Fly. I subscribe to him on YouTube, qualifying 7th overall. Young Thrash, just killing it in qualifying, 6th overall. Now to your top 5. K-Mead in 5th.
K-Mead is a hometown hero for me. He's he did awesome in a winter series that we did in Cincinnati. He's killing it on track.
You got JT FPV. Another hometown hero.
Yeah, New York City. He lives in New York somewhere. He was third place at Sebring. Third place?
Yeah, he
did
well.
I think he was the one that edged me off the podium, that son of a gun.
And he also he was in the commercial for this event for Buffalo Bando. Then 3rd overall, Bull FPV in qualifying from Canada. But in our multi-GP regional series presented by the Academy of Model Aeronautics as a Northeast regional. We got Nurk, 2nd overall qualifier. Where's that guy? And Captain Vanover, top qualifier. His best back-to-back, a pair of 8s in round 3 and 4 for 16. This is a second-to-last race. We are green. This is Ricky, APC FPV, and Jeff PV. Top 2 going to the final. You just don't want to be last because Air Badger's out down to the 3. And it's right into
So we've already decided one person is not making it on to finals, but we have a hot race for the next 3 positions, only 2 of which will move on to the finals here in the intermediate class at Buffalo Bando 2018. Currently, I'm seeing Ricky well out front.
Jeff PV, Team DMR.
APOC, however, or APC FPV and Jeff PV battling it out. They're close. 1, 2, right through the gates.
2.5 seconds separating 2nd and 3rd. APC still with 2 laps to try and get
Ricky
by Jeff
Bobby
PV.
with a big near crash, saves it, is still out front.
We call that a recovery.
Yeah, sorry.
You're good.
Ricky, I think the battle here is still going to be between Jeff PV and APC, but APC is putting some pressure on Ricky. Ricky, all the way down through the dive gate and around the gates. APC hitting the gate in extra time, turns around. But, oh, my gosh, it's 1, 2, 3. They're all right there. 1.
On to the final lap,
2.
Dirk.
Oh, Jeff PV with a big turnaround. Ricky, however, still out front with APC on his tail. That being said, Jeff is still close.
Checkered flags.
Putting in work.
Ricky Bobby.
APC down again
Jeff
on the
PV.
ground. Jeff PV has a big chance here to just continue building up some distance between him and APC if APC is able to get back up. Ricky Bobby, however, making that last turn. Now the last turn, heading for the start-finish gate underneath and through. Ricky Bobby definitely moving on to finals. Jeff PV almost definitely has just got to finish here. Goes through, hits the start-finish gate, and moves on to finals here in the intermediate class of Buffalo Bando 2018. What do you think about that, Joe, as you go back to your mic to talk to somebody else?
I love it. I love it.
So we are confident that Ricky and Jeff PV are moving on. APC and Air Badger heading home, unfortunately. Man, APC made a big mistake there at the end. He had it in the bag, crashed out, and that's going to be the end of the show. But we have 2 Detroit multi-rotors guys, Ricky Bobby and Jeff PV, moving on to the finals to battle against Sidewinder and Punk Kills for the 1, 2, 3, 4 here at Buffalo Bando 2018 at Buffalo Riverworks in Buffalo, New York. A lot of Buffalo.
A lot of Buffalo.
We should just introduce some bison.
So they're actually replaying this entire race on the DVR because APC FPV says, no, I got my 3 laps in. 3 laps a minute 25. I got it. And looking at digits from Ricky and Jeff PV, Not sure what happened with timing out there. We're not in control of that. We're just commentators. And
How
so
much
they're going to
faster did
replay
he
it.
finish then?
I didn't think he was that much looking at their lap
that would have
times.
been 10, 15 seconds faster at least.
We were watching him in third.
But Ricky Bobby was hauling. I don't know. That doesn't seem right to me, but that's
DVR.
what the DVR review will show.
So, again, we are unable to check out the DVR, but next weekend when we broadcast live from the Southeast Regional
Alabama.
Finals, yeah, you'll be able to watch that DVR review in action. We have a little bit of a different setup, but here at Buffalo Bando, this is just a Gator Done kind of live stream. We hope you enjoy it. And coming up here in the next 20 minutes or so, and we go into the Pro Double Elimination Top 16 finale, we'd invite you to please share our live stream link with all your friends, family, stalkers, and followers. Help us tell the great story, because we're just warming up. This is the intermediate bracket. Following that, we're going to be going to that top pro race. It's going to be 14 races. The sun is shining. We keep checking that weather. The weather is going to be good as we are tiny whooping here inside the Riverworks. You know, we talked about some of those activities, and, you know, it was kind of risk and reward, a little bit of blessing and maybe a little bit of a hindrance. We have all kinds of zip lines around our Bando course outside, which we're okay shutting down with practice. But inside on the qualifying course, we had that ropes course that is active.
Do you notice that there are zip lines inside too?
I heard there were zip lines
during one
inside.
heat, somebody ziplined through a heat.
So, I mean, this is an entertainment destination. I mean, zip lines, rope courses, live sports and entertainment, concerts as well. Riverworks hosting Buffalo Bando 2018. And, yeah, every time someone walked in the door, paid their $20, we were shut down in qualifying.
I didn't pay my $20.
Oh, you didn't? You just went up there for fun on the ropes course?
Oh, yeah. Like, normally they tell you to wear a harness and, like,
Yeah.
you know, be safe. I just went up naked.
Yeah. You should have said
As the
that
monkeys
yesterday. No, I don't think that really happened.
Probably
did it?
would have scared some people away at least. We would have been able to do more qualifying.
For real?
So, pro tip, kids at home. You can solve all your problems
I
by
don't
getting
know
naked.
about that. Views expressed by NERC are not those of Multi-GP, Riverworks, NLSEV,
Oh, that's something Chris would do.
the Academy of Model Aeronautics. I don't know.
Bob Brown would do it too.
Oh, he'd be the first one to do it. Hey, look at this. We got some heads-up tiny whoop racing here.
Except not very heads up. It's like it's
yeah.
one head up, one gently laid on the table.
line.
Hey, can we restart this one and get you guys going head to head? Or not?
Nah, late time.
Man, they are like focused, zoned in. This is some serious tiny
Just
whooping.
watching the laps
like,
on
"What?
Pilot
We
1.
do not want to listen to the announcers over here. They're like, let's just fly. Let's get out of here. We're tiny
Watch it.
whooping. We're having fun. We don't care about
Pilot
your
1
race.
definitely with the win, though. I mean, just smoking
I mean,
it.
he knows how to do it. If your opponents don't take off, you got a guaranteed win in there.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Question was that Thunder double fisting beers earlier?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
it was. Jinx, you owe me a beer. Cheers.
Okay. I'll be right back.
Hey, look at this, guys. Now we have a race. There's Sky stepping in to start.
Oh!
This is a
Pilot
good
1 with a
start.
commanding lead. Oh, my gosh. Pilot 2, are you even trying?
He is. Caution and care will get you there, even when you're tiny whooping. Wow, through that dive gate.
Man, I am really impressed with Pilot 1. Pilot 1, this is a father-son combination, right?
Already a lap
The
ahead.
son is probably 10 decades behind. It's still
Is it really?
2 laps ahead. Not
Son,
10 decades, but
son is being beat by dad? This
No,
is the
son
only
is-
legalized form
son
of
is-
child abuse right here,
son
isn't
is
it?
crushing it.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's son. Yeah, son is crushing it.
It's killing it.
This is the only legal
Legalized.
version of patricide, I guess.
That'll be it. That'll be it. We'll allow
Holy
it.
Cow. He's with the pass even. He's just flossing. He's whooping. I can't think of anything appropriate to say. I give up.
He's whooping it up. That's the baby Bando tiny whooping.
They're stickers. They look like the Tiny Whoop stickers.
So it is absolutely
I wonder if those were
insane.
licensed.
What's that?
That's not the kind of stuff you ask on the stream. Just kidding.
What's licensed?
The Buffalo Bando stickers that look like the Tiny Whoop logo.
Yeah, totally. Jesse P signed off by that. He says,
Okay.
yeah,
good.
buddy. Good idea.
Are you just saying that?
Hey, what was the result of the DVR review?
Or double checking on some DVR review? to make sure that we are correct on who is advancing and who's not. But it might sound like there's a little bit of drama. We're going to rearrange some stuff here, get back to you, and tell you what's going on. In the meantime, continue enjoying this father-son whooping action. Holy cow. That's probably some of the fastest tiny whooping I've ever seen outside of the Tiny Whip International. Jesse Perkins, if you are not sponsoring this kid yet, you definitely need to be, because he can whoop some whoop ass.
Heck yeah. Let's take a little look-see.
Wait, can I say that on stream?
Yeah,
Sorry.
you can.
Okay,
You can say whatever you want.
I can say whatever I want?
Technically. There we are. Before we go live outside, there is the bracket. So after DVR review, APC did get the go-ahead. So here's your final four for podium in intermediate. Punk Kills, your highest seed in the intermediate bracket. Sidewinder, who we were talking to earlier, just killing it, coming in that winner's bracket, along with Ricky and APC FPV that we saw kick things off.
Ricky's been climbing up from the very bottom at the beginning. He had an early mistake and has worked his way all the way into finals. Sidewinder, again, has been in the leaders bracket the entire time, has confidently and calmly pushed through. That kid is DMR. Neon FPV is the Tiny Whip pilot that we were watching earlier. He is Detroit Multi-Rotor's youngest pilot. Neon, can you come over here for a sec? Or not?
He's walking that way. I think we're going to go green.
But we're about to go green here. Actually, we'll come back to you in just a second. Sorry about that.
Look at you setting up interviews and everything. This is the final four intermediate. This is for all those prizes. Thanks to our great partners, Pulse Batteries, DalProp, China Hobby Line, Caddx.
And that's green. Punk Kills
ReadyMadeRC
with the whole shot. Oh, my gosh, but it's still tight. I am trying to figure it out. Sidewinder, I think, is up front. Sidewinder, Punk Kills.
Punk Kills running second.
Oh, Ricky Bobby nearly hitting the over-under gate.
Punk Kills pushing ahead. Ooh, it's still Sidewinder just ahead of Punk Kills.
Sidewinder's up front. Sidewinder's going around through the last slalom gate and is the first one to go across the line in the silo section. Stonehenge
To the silos. Sidewinder, Punk Kills.
Sidewinder getting a lot of space out front, heading up through the over-under, back down through the gate, and has the space. All right, let's take a look at
Ricky
second
Bobby
and third.
moving up to third, I believe. APC running fourth, but they still got a lap and a half to go.
I don't know, man. I think APC is pushing it with Punk Kills there. He just passed
It's
Punk.
tight. Do we have a leader change?
I think I'm seeing APC, Punk Kills, Ricky.
Wow.
Ricky, all three of them are still right there. Sidewinder still with the commanding lead. Ricky Bobby spiraling to the ground and smashes it into concrete. Oh, I love it.
Down to
That's
three.
what we came here to see.
Racing to that checkered line inside Stonehenge, and this is going to decide your podium.
Sidewinder.
Boom.
Sidewinder, number one.
Sidewinder, your intermediate champion.
APC with the running up, the reserve champion.
Hey, I love your style.
And Punk Kills, I think, has that third position, even though both him and Ricky Bobby crashed at the same time. Going to have to do another review, and what a story for APC after that craziness with his DVR last time. He pushed for that review, got it, and has come home second from the intermediate race here at Buffalo Bando.
Yeah, buddy.
We're double checking on second and third, or third and fourth, but our podium has been decided. Sidewinder, the intermediate champion, and APC, your reserve champion at Buffalo Bando 2018.
There is your finish up on the screen as you look to the right. Ricky fourth overall, Punk Kills second runner-up, third on our podium. APC FPV, your reserve champion, as he said, and Sidewinder with the win. How exciting.
I'm so glad that we had a chance to catch up with Sidewinder before he got in there. Like, you could see he's in the zone, he's calm, he's hit that, like, you know, that zen-like state where you just fly and crush it. That was awesome.
That's all you can do when it gets to that point right there, huh?
Hopefully he'll swing by after. Can we tell him to send him over here, catch up with him, see how he's feeling?
I'm sure we'll catch him when he comes in on his way back to the pits. Everyone pitting here inside the Riverworks. Now let's have a quick little overhead view of what we got right there. There is our giant FPV screen that our judges have been reviewing on.
And our Joe has fixed.
And I fixed that. I fixed that screen, guys. I fixed it. Who needs a Maytag repairman? I'll come by, look after your washer, your dryer. And, of course, we got our
Joe's
baby.
really struggling. He needs your arc. Please call him when you need to fix your dryer. Doesn't matter what state, what country. Just shoot him a call. He'll be there.
Need a part-time job.
20 minutes or less or your money back.
There's our young pilot that Joe from DMR was talking about.
Neo FPV.
There he is. Let's slide him in right now for a quick little
Neo
chat.
would work, though. Johnny.
Was it Johnny?
I think it was Johnny.
Johnny?
Maybe. I thought I heard Johnny. I could be wrong. I'm pretty bad at names, so
he's distracted right now. There is a big discussion right now.
You're up for this interview. Come on.
I am.
Grab that, hold it right next to your mouth. I'll hold your tiny book.
Are you good?
Hi.
All right. You having a good time so far at Buffalo Bando?
Yeah.
You've been here all weekend long, right? What's been your favorite part of watching this racing?
I just have fun flying.
Have fun flying?
Yeah.
What do you think about this course? You've been like the fastest on the course we've seen all afternoon. Is it a lot of fun to race indoors on the big screen?
Yeah, it's a little less stressing than big quads.
And are you a big fan of drone racing? Like, do you watch DRL on television?
Yeah, I watched all 2 seasons.
Oh, yeah? And who's your favorite pilot?
Maybe Gab 707.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe
Gab
Gab.
707.
Maybe Gab 707. What about another one?
Johnny FPV.
Johnny FPV is pretty good, too.
And Beast Mode.
And Beast Mode. So Beast Mode is here. Have
Yeah.
you met Beast Mode yet? Oh, yeah, because you're from
Yeah.
DMR. You're a
Yeah.
DMR pilot.
And Nurk. And
Nurk. And Nurk. You know,
Sorry, I totally forgot.
of all the DRL pilots that he knows, you're one of them. What's been your favorite part of this event?
Racing.
Racing. And you gonna try and fly one of the big tracks with your tiny whip at some point this weekend?
Yeah, the big one.
The big outdoor one?
With my tiny whoop.
Yeah, you want to try it?
Might be too saggy.
Yeah, don't listen to my crazy talk. Hey, it's a pleasure. What's your pilot handle?
Neon FPV.
Neon FPV. This is a guy to watch out for. New DMR pilot. And well, I'm gonna let you get back out to the flying. All right. Thanks for coming out to Riverworks Buffalo Bando 2018. So you're getting about ready to race.
I got forgotten. We set that up just so that he would say it was me, and then he.
I was joking about the DRL thing.
Were you? That's pretty funny. All right, thanks. No, it's okay. I'm just kidding. Oh, that was funny. We are trying to bring Sidewinder over here, but I sent somebody for him, and hopefully we'll be able to catch him and bring him back over here. But I might have to get ready to go race here. I got a little bit of time, but Joe is coming in with an announcement right here, right now, at this very moment.
Thank you, Nurk. You know what? We're going to take a short pause for the cause, and we're actually going to terminate the live stream, and we're going to come back in about 15, 20 minutes, and we'll start our third broadcast of the day on the Multi-GP YouTube channel, and that is going to be our top 16 double elimination here at Buffalo Bando, featuring those great pilots that Neo FPV has been really excited to see. His favorite pilot, Beast Mode, is inside of that top 16. And, of course, your second overall top qualifier, Paul Nurkula. And, even with the... Are you kidding me? Look at these two guys.
Hey, guys, you ever...
They have
Ricky.
no idea. You have no idea.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow. All right, let's go back to... And, of course... Our top qualifier, Captain Vanover, reigning multi-GP national champion. He is coming up in that top 16 double elimination. The time right now, 5:35 local. We're going to take a 15-minute break, maybe to top up our fuel here inside of Riverworks.
That's
Gotta
coffee,
love
right?
the train wreck. Yeah, coffee in the cold glass, cold coffee. Keep you going. And we're going to be back in about 15 minutes time with a little bit of pre-show. And we go green with the top 16 at 6 p.m. Eastern right here.
Not we, just him.
Yeah, you're going to be racing.
Yeah, I'm going to go fly.
I want to thank Nurk for hanging out with us here this afternoon. And you know what?
It's been a pleasure.
Dude, killing it up there.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure hanging out with you. I'd say come back when you're done, but we don't want that. We want you to go right to that Final
I'll
Four.
come back when I win.
And win the podium. We'll do that big interview with you
right.
and Sidewinder. How awesome would that be? On behalf of our
buddy.
entire cast and crew of Multi-GP, my best friend, good buddy Chris Thomas out there, working it hard on the Buffalo Bando Championship course, along with Paul Atkins.
I thought you were going to say working it hard on the
also,
pole.
Doug Kling, our lead tech advisor. We also have Michelle on scoring. That's lead girl. All of our safety third racing. NLFPV, our host multi-GP chapter, Buffalo Bando. My good buddy Nurk, my name is Joe Scully. We'll see you in about 15 minutes time when we go green. 6 p.m. tonight, the top 16, Buffalo Bando.
Stay flying.